is still the Greek community of Venice. And
the smaller groups on the Rick Steves tours make the difference. You cannot take care of 50 people if you really want to satisfy and to meet the needs of all the tour members.
It is very important to have a small group, very important, especially on the streets and even in museums. You still have a relation to every person.
We know who we are. We get to know each other's names. We get to know about each other.
You wouldn't have the opportunity as a guide to give as much individualized attention to a larger group. We have the opportunity when we're on a bus to spread out. Everybody has their own seat.
That relatively small group size, we can go into restaurants where locals eat. We don't necessarily have to go to the factories that might have good food, but it's just not going to be the same atmosphere that you might encounter getting to know a local restaurateur.
It allows us also to stay in smaller hotels, because large groups would end up in chain hotels, which are located very often on the outskirts of each town.
Also, just moving around museums, you see sometimes larger groups that just really seem to struggle to move from point A to point B.
We also can maybe get into different types of museums or the different kinds of maybe hands-on activities or walking tours that we do. Just really wouldn't work with a larger group.
Taking public transportation is a great example too. We take buses, we take the metro, we take whatever the locals do to get around quite often once we're in a city. And it's just impossible if you had a bigger group. People that may not be familiar with it, it gives them an opportunity to learn how to use it as a group. And so when they have their free time or when they come back on their own individually, they'll be more comfortable.
So I think the small groups are an absolute cornerstone, and we wouldn't be able to be as effective with a larger group.